Virtual threads is the main Java 21 feature. Let us start with the question why it was added in the first place. And in order to answer the question, let us look at the thread per request style. When an application receives a request, it assigns a thread for handling it. JVM thread is a wrapper around operation system thread, and their number is limited. That means that at some point we'll run out of threads for handling requests. And in order to address this issue, thread sharing style was introduced. When one thread stacks waiting for a response, it returned to a pool so that it could be used to serve other requests. That is called a reactive way of programming. And every command could be executed in a different thread. That's why we might have a few problems with that style of programming. It's harder to understand how many resources our application uses. It's harder to debug as every command could be executed by a different thread and it's not executed right away. And it's harder to write and understand code in this way. So that's why Java decided to introduce an alternative in Java 21 that is called virtual threads. What definition could we give to a virtual threads? Virtual threads are the same threads with the difference that they use operation system thread only when they need to compute some value. So that when a virtual thread blocks waiting for something, operation system thread is being reused by some other virtual threads. Let us compare Java platform threads with virtual threads. The first type, JVM threads, they use operation system thread all the time. When virtual threads, they use operation system thread only when they need to compute some value. Because JVM thread requires operation system thread all the time, it is costly to create. In the same time, virtual threads are cheap in terms of resources. JVM threads are also limited as operation system threads are. In the same time, virtual threads are plentiful. And when it comes to the way how we handle those two threads, JVM threads and virtual threads, JVM threads should be pulled and reused. At the same time, virtual threads should be created new every time. Let's just look at the way how could we implement in the code virtual threads. We can create them via executors, new virtual thread per task executor method call. Every submitted task will use a virtual thread for calculations. Even if we start 10,000 virtual threads, they will probably use one operation system thread. However, the preferred way of creating virtual threads is structured concurrency. And I created another video available on my YouTube channel explaining what structured concurrency is. There are a few more things you need to know about virtual threads. First of all, virtual threads aren't faster threads. And they really could improve our application performance when the number of concurrent tasks is more than few thousands. And secondly, let's just start with definition what scheduling is. Scheduling is assigning a thread for execution on a processor core. And unlike JVM threads, virtual threads aren't assigned for execution on a processor core directly. They're attached to JVM threads that are in turn assigned for execution on a processor core. That is the crux what virtual threads are. Now try to put this knowledge in practice.